All right. Let's go, my friends. It is quite lovely to see you. And let's turn this around. How are you over on YouTube on Thom Pollard Uncharted and also Everest Mystery on Instagram? Greetings. And why am I here doing a live stream on a Friday at 4 o'clock on a channel other than Everest Mystery? First of all, let me ask, can you all hear me? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can work out the sound situation here. Yes, Eric, you can hear me? Oh, that is beautiful. Okay. Good to know. Thank you, guys. And hey there, over on Instagram too. When I get my act together, I'm also going to be on Twitch. Swear to God, man. Twitch. And don't forget, even though this is Thom Pollard Uncharted, I am not going to forego this, my Everest Mystery, the love of Everest Mystery. It's my main brand, people, but actually my main brand is me, Thom Pollard. And that's why I am doing this. And for those of you who have been following my live streams on Fridays through February, you'll know that I get off topic, which is the whole idea of a live stream, to be able to just expand upon really cool ideas and talk to people about fun things. I made a 1 minute deviation. I believe it was on the 28th of February. And I said something about a culture of hate, a culture of hatred or division or something like that. And somebody took exception to it when I related that to politicians using that divisiveness to make moves and gain favor and be elected to high places. It's pretty much all I said. Didn't say any names. I'm not even saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what happened. So I had a couple of comments that kind of scared the crap out of me a little bit, and I blocked them and all that stuff. And I just thought, I'm going to go into this thing, my sub channel called Everest Mystery. Well, my Everest Mystery, it was going to be 2.0, and I decided to make it Thom Pollard Uncharted. And good to see you over there. Hello. And Dawn, Eric, Ursula, and Chris. Awesome. Over on YouTube. And I decided to go with Uncharted, Thom Pollard Uncharted, because that's really the brand. I am still deeply devoted to Everest Mystery. And the whole reason this sub-channel started was so I could do videos that were my hikes, if you will. I would go on these great hikes with my wife, which, by the way, I will be premiering a video at the top of this upcoming hour. So in about 55 minutes, a video, I think I called it Aliens on Mount Adams or something like that. Great hike video, pseudo ASMR, really nice, mellow, chill stuff. And I just wanted to do that so I could go and talk and not be worried, care about how many subscribers I had. Now, if I get 1,000+ subscribers here, yes, I will monetize the channel. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, there's a faction of individuals out there in the YouTube realm who take great exception to a human being actually allowing there to be a commercial in the middle of their video, as if the fact that it's YouTube, they have every right to get shit for free. And it's like, dude, this is what I do for a living, So when if you go to a concert and you see Bruce Springsteen on stage and you pay $250 for a halfway decent seat, are you flipping him the bird saying, how dare you? You're rich enough. How dare you charge us No, man, I like to think that my Everest Mystery Channel and my experience on Mount Everest is unique, something that you cannot get anywhere else. I'm not just going to go to I'm the only person in the world who's ever looked George Mallory in the face, but that's kind of part of it. Now, I just interviewed a very good friend of mine, Melissa Arno Reed, one of the greatest women mountaineers of our time, certainly the first woman, American woman, to summit Mount Everest without bottled oxygen and survive. She's not sleeping beauty, she's waking beauty. I just interviewed her, did an hour and a half talk with her, freaking amazing. And I'm going to be putting a video out with her on April 1st as she releases her book called Enough, which I've read. Her book, Enough, is effing unbelievable. And here's the reason I love it. I will admit to you, I'm kind of sick of reading your typical mountain climbing book. And when I got given a contract to write a book, I'm writing it now. I told the publisher guy, the person, my contact editor, I said, I don't want to just write some Mount Everest book because I'm so freaking bored of Mount Everest books. Just your basic, I summited, I'm the only man with 9 fingers to summit Mount Everest. That's not true. I have all 10, or one leg or something like that, which is cool. It's not to demean that by any respect. It's just not what I'm interested in. So it's very memoir-esque, brings in a lot of philosophy, a lot of my life experiences, School of Hard Knocks, growing up in a really, really freaking kind of interesting childhood, My parents didn't have 2 pennies to rub together for a long time. I didn't know that we were broke or poor. There was always food on the table. But I learned over time. And then my brother took his own life some years later, I guess, kind of maybe bringing with him a secret from our childhood. It's not about Mount Everest, but it's about Mount Everest. So you're going to get your Everest stuff, but you're going to get a lot of other stuff too. So, yeah, I've already digressed, but that's what Thom Pollard Uncharted is for. Hello from Saskatoon. It is so cool to see you, KB. I appreciate anybody taking part, of course, in the chat because, well, at least the chat over. Thank you, Katie, over on Instagram. I look forward to letting you read that book. You have to be a subscriber to participate in the chat over on my YouTube side, and I appreciate you guys doing that. The video that I released today is pretty cool. I just have to say as an aside, I put a computer monitor over here so I can make sure that the stream is working. And I'm aware of how much I move around and my hands are going ape shit right now. And it's kind of interesting because there's like a 6 or 7, maybe a 10-second delay on it. And I keep thinking somebody's waving at me and I realize it's me talking. So it's not. Okay, so first quiz. What am I drinking in my Everest Mystery mug? I almost always forget to give the answer at the end. Any guess? I'll take a sip and you can see if my face makes any expressions. Hold on. That's a great guess, Eric. That's a great guess. I have a friend who loves yerba mate, Oscar Mangui. I have interviewed him numerous times for my podcast, The Happiness Quotient. And do you like that mug, by the way? We decided to take this part and move Mystery Seekers Society underneath. And so these are for sale, $19. I really don't make much on this, but the guy who makes the cup or the mugs and the glasses is the one who he's got a business. You can order one thing and he'll send it to you. If you live in Australia, you'll get, hey, Dawn, you've got your mug. You were the first order. Somebody said somebody made an order. Dawn, if you put that on social media and tag me, I'll I'll share it. I'll give you a big shout out. Chris Cunningham, Glass Graphics, right on. My friend Stu Dunlop, the owner of the company, a dear, dear friend of mine who is also writing a book now. And I called him today, actually asked him to call me today, and told him how bad my week went writing. Horrible week. I just lost all motivation, kind of bummed out, and had just a tough week. But now I'm kind of getting stoked up. So one thing I did say that I was going to talk a lot about was Socrates or philosophy. And I said that the opposites, philosophy. And I'm a big Socrates guy. Not like I read and studied him or anything, but I love that he talks about his daemon. And a lot of people misinterpret that as a demon, but it was like this sixth sense that he had. I think he said that he had this daemon mostly when he was young, and it would speak to him, this spirit or entity that would guide him when it was important for him to make a decision and allow him to make the right decision. And it's like, I guess I call that my gut. I'm a huge gut instinct person. I believe very, very strongly that we, especially men, at least in United States or North America, modern society, are cut off from their feelings. Need I go any further than to talk about my brother who took his own life? Obviously, well, at least to me, it was obvious, holding back a lot of feelings that he was ashamed of, maybe, or afraid to talk about. And had there been more of an open culture to talking about things. Now, Jeff, he was my soulmate. He was my best friend, 7 years older than me. I idolized him since I was a little kid. We were a really messed up family. Not that messed up, but we were pretty screwed up. And he was really mean to me when I was a little kid, because I'm sure I was a pain in the ass. And I would always run to my mother, and he'd be like, he'd make me cry every day, which is like kind of what big brothers do a lot, I think. But this thing about the daemon, this sixth sense, this gut, men and women have stopped trusting their gut, stopped trusting that inner voice that we know is there. And I'm a proponent of following your dreams and your passions and the things that you believe that you want to do in life. And I think a lot of people end up doing the things they think their parents want them to do, or they think they should do. Meanwhile, their dream is to do something completely different. Not to cut down on a person, but one of my best friends growing up, it was one of his dreams to be a screenwriter. And he was right there. He started getting gigs writing 1-hour scripts for a soap opera out of Hollywood. Like, seriously, kind of weird, right? But it's script writing, and I think you get $1,000 per script, right? $1,000. We're talking 40 years ago, 30 plus years ago. $1,000 right now would make my month. Like, it would completely change my month. We're out of wood out there, because it's like, well, next check, I'll get another cord of wood. So that was just a little digression, way too much information. But what I'm saying is, he got married to a woman who he's no longer married to, and he's married to a really amazing woman who believes in him, a woman who's like, you stupid, what's this stupid bullshit writing scripts for Hollywood? We're going to never make enough money. Yeah, well, who knows? Who knows? Like, he didn't follow his dream. He's a great guy. He's like, I love him. He's one of my best pals. So, hey, Evan, how's it going? Hi, Abby, over on Instagram. Hey, Bryn, 2 people. So hold on a second. We've got a Saskatoon over on Instagram. Hold on. And now we have Bryn on Instagram and KB over on YouTube from Saskatoon. What the hell? That is really, really cool. Hi, Katie, too. So let me just hit these little wave things. I know that I'm losing the people over on Instagram because I'm not paying that much attention. So let me just say this whole philosophy thing. And you want to talk about Mount Everest? Just hit me, man. I'll do it. Just say, hey, I'd rather talk about George Mallory or the boot or what you're planning on doing this spring, or I mean, seriously, I love talking about Mount Everest. I'm just glad that I'm not really pigeonholed to continue talking about it necessarily if and disappoint people. I did those live streams all through February, and people just ran in droves. And some of the comments were like dudes, like it's a freaking YouTube channel live stream. It's not, a live stream is value added, not like this is who I am, right? People over on Instagram, you're probably like, shut up. But there's only one person watching me on Instagram, so I've lost just about everybody. So, but the idea is that you need to follow the passion of your heart. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing the world a favor. You're not doing yourself a favor, or all the people you're miserable around a favor. Oh, if I only didn't have this stupid job, I hate going to work every day, then change it. Believe me, when people say, well, you'd go for the money too. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I never went, it was never about the money for me. And that's kind of a problem. That's why I'm sitting here going, gosh, I wouldn't mind buying another cord of wood, even though it was 50 some odd degrees, whatever that means in Celsius. But it was warm today and sunny, so we don't need any wood today. But I digress, which is what I'm fairly good at. But the people who have essentially gotten up the courage to live the life that they were meant to live, like those people are the ones that you want to be closer to, right? They understand deep down inside that they're going to pay a price. As Neil Young said when he quit the band Buffalo Springfield, just before 2 nights before they were going to go on the Johnny Carson show. We're talking in the 1960s. He quit the band. And what he said was something like, if you're going to really follow your dream, if you're really going to be the person that you want to be deep inside, you're going to do things that are going to make a lot of people angry. They're going to hurt a lot of people. As he said, he called it collateral damage. But he said, when you do that, you're going to create very, very beautiful things that you would not have created had you not done that. This is an incarnation on this planet. We are just temporarily moving through, and the whole idea of it is to live with our creativity and create the things that come from our heart. And some people choose to create from a place of darkness. Some people choose to create from a place of light. And it's all good. You do whatever you want, no judgment. That's a huge part of it. When we judge others, we're doubting the whole essence of free will choice, free will beings. But when we truly follow our path, our heart, we do come from light, because that's what we're from ultimately, is love and light. So here's a person who did something that I thought was a person who came from love and light eventually. Wild by Cheryl Strayed, possibly my favorite memoir. I don't know if any of you have ever read this book. I absolutely love this book. Hey, KB, cool, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you want me, I want to be over on Instagram. I'm at Instagram/Everest Mystery. I have a personal Instagram account that has like thousands of people, but every time I do this, they're like, dude, just tell us about your cat. That's all we care about. By the way, I'm surprised Simba hasn't heard me. Bryn, I have dreams of working in movies too, in any capacity, but in Saskatoon with 3 kids, but my heart sure yearns, even watch the award shows with such longing. Okay, so that's really, really interesting, Bryn, because the cool thing about the internet is, and AI, and in the modern age, is if you want to write, you can write. I know it sounds really easy, but it's not. You could write a screenplay, or come up with the idea to maybe film a short movie, and maybe your kids are somehow part of that. It might take years. What did I see this movie? Oh, I saw a series on Netflix not long ago called Inventing Anna. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Ah, it's so effing good. I loved it, and my wife and I watched it, and we had annihilated it. We watched, I think, 6 or 9 episodes, just gobbled them up. There's a character in it. Now, it's based on a true story of a woman who went to New York and sold all these people that she was a billionaire's daughter and got people to give her millions and millions of dollars. But one of her best friends in the series, a true story, right, was this woman who was married, and she was a concierge at the hotel that this woman Anna lived at for 6 months or something. And her dream was to make a movie, but they didn't have enough money, and she was married to this really, really cool guy, this beautiful dude. And she kept saying, when I have enough money, I'm going to make the movie, when I raise enough funds and everything. And so the movie, I don't want to like buzzkill the thing. You got to watch Inventing Anna, but essentially there was this turning point for her toward the end where Anna kind of turned her back on the friendship, and the husband was like, when are you going to be ready to do the film? Like, you don't need money. You've well, I'm looking into my camera. My video that's going to premiere in 40 minutes or 30 something minutes, I filmed it on my iPhone. And I know people who actually shoot cool films on their iPhone. So Bryn, what I'm saying is, just do something. Do a mini movie. Even do a mini movie to entertain your kids. I don't know how old your children are. Do something. Channel your creativity. Bring it out. Make a funny movie. Make something that with one goal in mind, to entertain your kids for 4 minutes and make them laugh at the end, or spook them, do something kind of funny or something. There's amazing, amazing things you can do with just your telephone. You do need some real basic, in my opinion, editing software. I'd have to ask my son. He does it for free. I have Final Cut Pro. It cost me $100 or something like that. Thank you for the hearts, Bryn. I mean it. Like when I was younger, I'm 63 now, but when I was just out of college and just moved to the White Mountains of New Hampshire, I had a dream that I wanted to. Karen, good to see you, Karen. My dream was to do mountaineering documentaries and films. And back then, not that long ago in relative terms, but in nowadays terms, how fast things happen, it was not maybe 35 something years ago. I was one of the only guys who actually had a video camera. And so I would get 2 amazing rock climbers together, and then a buddy of mine who was a guide, and I was guiding with him in South America and Alaska and things like that. And we would set up on this really cool rock climb. We did one on Cathedral Ledge in North Conway, New Hampshire, called The Prow. And I filmed it on my High 8 video camera. I still got it, but it's totally broken. It won't work anymore. And we filmed it, and I made interviewed the 2 climbers, 2 buddies of mine, Steve Damboyce and Chris Gill, and then edited it and sent it to Mountain Film at Telluride, and they accepted it, and it premiered at Mountain Film, which was cool. Nowadays, they'd probably think it was hilarious because it was just so archaic. But I was living a dream. Fast forward, not even 10 years, and I'm on Mount Everest working for PBS and the BBC, filming an Everest documentary that discovered George Mallory. So think about it, right? Come on, Karen, or Bryn rather, let's go. Let's get your film. I really want to see it. So therapeutic to talk to someone about this. You're welcome. That's what I'm doing this. That's why it's Thom Pollard Uncharted. We're kind of talking Mount Everest in a way, but we're just going off script. And guys, I mean this. I watched. This is what happened to me the other day. Some reason a video popped up of mine on Everest Mystery from 2+ years ago, easily 2 years ago. And I went way off on this tangent about my purpose for living, what my joy is, about connecting with people, about doing something, saying something to, say, a person at a checkout counter in a supermarket who looks really angry or sad or whatever, and just sharing energy, sharing light. And you can see people lighten up when you do that. People feel energy sometimes just by the vibrations that you're emitting. And so, more, not philosophy, but nature and the reality of our existence is, imagine we're all little teeny radio stations, right? We transmit energy or signals out to the world. Beep, right? Beep. You ever have somebody walk into a room and you're like, oh boy, stay away from Joe today. Like, don't go next to Betty. Oh my God. So, like, you just know, like, stay the hell away. I used to work for a guy who'd walk into a room and everybody like, don't go near him. And he just, he looked it. But you convey that energy. Come from a place of love. You start to work up into those higher chakras, moving it out of the, if you will, the base lower chakras up toward your heart, and breathe and envision and visualize light, that you are love, affirmations, affirmative statements that you say to yourself. You wake up and you're pissed off and you don't want to go to work. And I had 2 kids. Well, I still do, but they're adults and theoretically they can put their pants on by themselves and use the bathroom on their own. But I had 2 little boys and they were savages, and I loved it, but it was not easy, man. It was really, really hard. And I'd be like, oh my God. But the energy of that, you wake up some days like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this day? Tell affirmations and you'll believe them. I am love. I am light. I am perfect. I am beautiful. I have everything I will ever need. And just say it, and then just repeat it. And it's going to happen, man. I'm telling you. I'm a filmmaker, Bryn, right? I'm a filmmaker. I'm going to make the greatest film my 3 children have ever seen. And you're going to send it to me, and I'm going to watch it. And I'll give you a little critique, too. So, hey, Detective Wobuffett, Elizabeth, nice to see you, my friend. It was lovely talking to you earlier on Discord. People, I have a Discord channel. Most people don't know about it. And the people that do, who decided to join, don't like talking over there. I'm the only one. I'm having a conversation with myself like I am right now. Bryn, was filming on Everest the most alive I ever felt. Allie McCreary sent a request to be in your live video. Stay with that, Allie. It's nice to see you. The one problem I have with that, I'd have to turn it so people could see you. Bryn, was it the most alive I've ever felt? No, but it was badass. It was amazing, but it was really hard, really, really hard to film in a storm, to film when it's cold, to film when you have to fix your oxygen and get that to work, and hope you got the right shot. And then it's actually really frustrating. And then your lens, it's kind of warm, and you bring it out and frost forms on the lens. And but on the other hand, yeah, because it's what I think I was kind of put here to do stuff like that, So let me take another sip of my mystery drink, guys. See the reaction on my face, and let me know if you can guess. Hold on. All right, so we'll leave it at that. It was really good. So I see there's a chit chat going on over on the chat live in the live YouTube. I don't even know what they call it, the studio, and it's really cool. So no, it is not apple cider. It is stronger than that. Even apple cider vinegar, it's stronger than. But this, my friend Kevin John O'Keefe mug, I have 2 drinks with me. No, this I hammered about 5 coffees today. This is a little bit lighter with caffeine. Kevin John O'Keefe made this gorgeous, gorgeous cup, which I love so very much. And if anybody visits the house, I hide it so they don't drink out of it. Hey, can I drink out of that mug? Shucks. I'm drinking tea out of this today, but I haven't told you what the mystery thing is yet. Let me go find another book. So here, all right. This book, you'll be thinking, oh, he's, yes, Detective Wobuffett. Yes. This book, The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ, is absolutely one of the most amazing books. It was written in the 1800s by this Russian guy named Nicholas Notovich, and he went to Tibet. And so you're thinking, oh, now we're going to talk about religion. Pfft, not even close, my man. Not even close. We're not talking religion. I don't do that. Well, I talk religion. I'm just not a fan, let's put it that way, of organized religions. All respect to you, whoever might be. I'm just not. But I think that guy was something else. I believe that he existed, historical figure. So anyway, Nicholas Notovich is a Russian explorer, and he goes into Tibet. And he had heard stories that in this one monastery deep inside of Tibet, there was a library, if you will, of manuscripts, of written texts that had been preserved for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Some of them being written by an order of Jews named the Essenes, who were annihilated by the Romans in 98 AD, I believe. He doesn't tell that story here. I just happen to know that. So it talks about Jesus and his life growing up, and he was part of this community of Essenes, right? But they preserved his writing. And basically, this book explains what happened to him during those many years that he essentially went off the chart, right? So we know Jesus when he was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, or 15 or something like that. Then he disappears, right? And then he comes back to all grown up and knowing everything, and then he's murdered, right? He's put to death. What did he do in those years that intervened that were off the books? And this talks about it, how he traveled around the world, into different parts of the world, and studied with great masters, So I read it probably 5 times, because I'd go back 2 pages and read it, and I fold little pages over. And anyway, it's a small book. It's very easy to read. And it literally quotes. So the guy wrote verbatim. So he goes into the monastery, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is like these are the scripts from the time of Jesus. And it explains what he did in those 30 years, or no, 20, what would it be? 50. So if he has 15, so 15 or 10 or 12 years or something like that, that nobody knows what he did during that time. He goes, can I read it? And they're like, it's like, and so like the head monk, or the sensei, the leader of the monastery is like, are you kidding? That book is way the hell back it's up this I'll never find it. Forget it. Next time you come back, we'll fish it out and I'll let you read it. And so the guy goes, oh man, I'll never get back here. And so he goes and he goes, goodbye, love you, nice to meet you guys. Maybe I'll come back someday. So the guy gets on his mule and he starts traveling back home where he's going to go back to Russia. He gets bucked off the mule, breaks his leg. This is true, man. This sounds like a parable or something. Breaks his leg, realizes that he might die if he doesn't get help, goes back to the monastery, like, help me. And they take pity on the guy and they're like, we'll help you recuperate. And in the meanwhile, we'll go fish out those texts from Jesus's life. And he verbatim wrote it word for word for word for word. And because of that, we have this book. Pretty cool. You should read it. Anyway, Musa Masala joined. Hello, Musa Masala. Musa Masala, can you see that? All right. Musa Masala. My buddy Mike G is here. One of my best and favorite human beings on the entire planet. I love him dearly as a brother. And thank you for joining my mic. I will put a link, by the way, to Musa Masala, a great organization about cultures in the mountains. And one, it treats people kindly and with love, and it helps sponsor clinics, dental clinics in Nepal, help build a wing of a hospital in a remote section of the Khumbu, Solo Khumbu region, and climbing competition in Kathmandu, the first ever sanctioned climbing competition. So this is over on Instagram. So we have, hey, mountain climber, on board. Mountain climber, I thought it said, hey, mountain climber, I'm bored. And I was like, I don't blame you, man. Like, hey, dude, yeah, Danyabat. Okay, namaste, my friend Mike, over on Instagram. I hope my phone doesn't die, and it might. And oh my gosh, and Kristen go, hold on. Wow, we have a star-studded. So Allie, text me, and then Allie and Kristen sent a text message to join. All right, I'm going to try this. All right, so let's try. I'm going to view the request, accept. Hold on, I got one of them. And then let's see. She might be gone. Let's see. Oh, let's see here. Hello. Oh, look at this. Hold on. Who's that? Hey, look it. Who's that? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you see me or hear me? Say hello to the people. Say hello. She can see us, but she can't hear us. She sure is cute, don't you think? Hello, she said hello. And where is that? Where is Kristen go right now? Can you hear me? All right, I'm going to say goodbye, I think. And so we've got some great participation. I have no idea where that is. Okay, so mountain climber, my friend, thank you. Can you, Kristen, if you can hear me, start talking and I'll say hello to you. But so oh fine. She's in a coffee shop and can't be bothered during our live stream. Karen is saying hello to you right now. I see a hug emoji. What are you getting for a coffee? What do you think she's getting? A yerba mate? Oh, she said goodbye. Fine. I can hear, but I'm in a coffee shop. She hung up on me. Allie, if you say hello, I'll say hello to you. Questions, anybody, let's do this. And by the way, I just want to say at about 1 minute before the top of the hour, I'm going to end this. And Chris, right on, my man. Because I'm premiering a video at 5 o'clock my time, and it's pretty cool. Very ASMR for those of you who don't I don't know if you ever look at ASMR videos, like, like it might just be this AI video of a beautiful stream and fireflies, and you hear water, like ASMR, auto synchronous meditation, something or another. Yeah, that's what. Oh my God, guys, my battery in my computer is going low. I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh boy, I can't lose this. Woo-hoo. Okay, hopefully. If my computer blacks out, it's because my battery died. Oh my God. Yikes. So at 5 o'clock, top of the hour, stick around. I'll watch the video with you and take it from there. Oh. So last week, I also interviewed a friend of mine named Pete Poston. What was the aliens that greeted me atop a mountain notification I got? That's the video that's coming up next on this channel, on Thom Pollard UNCHARTED. My wife and I hiked a mountain I just ran so fast for my for my computer charger. We hiked a mountain in New Hampshire called Mount Adams, and many people, many organizations as well, have considered it one of the main power centers of the Earth. It's this perfectly shaped pyramid type mountain, second highest in New Hampshire, and a lot of people go there to pray or to meditate. And we knew that going there, and when I went, I was like, I got dizzy and everything, had this weird out of body feeling. And so it's a video from this past October. So there are leaves on the trees right now. Literally, there's 2 feet of snow on outside, but I had to do it because I thought it'd be kind of fun, to share with you a great experience, and hopefully you enjoy it, and it's part of this new thing. I will talk about Everest. And what I wanted to tell you about, because I came back and I saw my guitars in the background, I interviewed an Everest historian this past week. And now remember, if the camera does black out, and it's because my battery died. It's charging now, but you just never know. It's using a lot of power. I interviewed Pete Poston, and my friend Pete, who is a professor in the Northwest, he is an exceptional researcher in terms of the mystery of Mallory and Irvin. And he was absolutely fascinated that I did a discussion about George Mallory's boot in the live stream I did 2 weeks ago. Just fascinated, and he did a bunch of research on it. And Ursula, it's Mount Adams in Washington. I mean, in New Hampshire, is like 1,600 meters. It's small, but it's still big if you have to hike it. So. But I interviewed Pete, and when I got on to interview him and talk to him about this boot thing and comparing it with Sandy Irvin's boot, which will be the subject of a video, he sat down and he held up his Fender Stratocaster because he really enjoys playing guitar too. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'll be bringing that with you. That's going to be on Everest Mystery. And I'm going to, Everest Mystery is my main dedication. My main dedication. That's the thing that I'm really devoted to. But this is just an opportunity for me to talk to people, meet new people, go live on Instagram, to talk to really, really cool folks such as yourselves, because you're interested in kind of going a cut deeper, right? So, oh, Elizabeth, so you read the Unknown Life of Jesus. That's very, very cool. So let me tell you about another book that I'm reading, and I'm reading it for my probably sixth or seventh time. On the Road by Jack Kerouac. And I think a lot of people probably would not, certain people might not enjoy it. If you're into J.D. Salinger or Kurt Vonnegut, um, you'd get it. And On the Road had an impact on me. My favorite Jack Kerouac book is The Dharma Bums, and A Big Sur was another one that I really like. But I'm more of a nonfiction guy, even though this stuff kind of really happened to Kerouac. He writes it in a fiction way. Really cool book, very easy read. I'm only that far in right now. But as I had said not long ago, Pem Dorje Sherpa, a friend of Mike G's of Musa Masala, sent me this book, co-written, or essentially Corinne Richardson out of Bozeman, Montana, wrote it with him or for him. I don't know quite how that worked. And I have yet to really dive into this book. And Pem Dorje, beautiful human being, sent it to me from his home, right? And he is a good man. He got married on the summit of Mount Everest with his wife, the first wedding on the summit of Mount Everest, as if there had been a ton of them. So talking about weird weddings, when I was a TV reporter in Western Massachusetts for an NBC affiliate, I was following around this skydiver guy, and some guy turned 80 and wanted to do a skydive, right? And then one day we did a video, and it was a couple who got married in midair. So we took the airplane up, went around, and Dave Strickland, the parachute guy, who's probably done 20,000 jumps at least, by 30,000 by now, did all the vows. And then I think something, just to make it simple, I think they put the rings on, and then I think they all jumped out, and I filmed them, whoa, like that. And they did the I do and the kiss in midair. And on that day, it was in this airplane, like a twin, not an otter, but like a de Havilland Beaver or something like that. I was strapped in. I didn't have a parachute on. The airplane ran out of gas, and it was like beep, beep, beep. I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, we're gonna die. And the pilot's freaking out, like, oh my God. You can see this light, and he starts diving, right? Like this. And we're probably up at 5,000 feet, so 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters, maybe higher. It might have been 10,000 feet, so double everything I just said. And he goes, I don't want to scare you, but if I tip forward, the gasoline goes into the engine, and I can keep the props running, and we can probably go fast enough and dead stick a landing. So and I said, well, if I'm going to die, I might as well get some good footage. So I filmed the entire thing. The guy like pumping, like, I don't even know what he was like, and the light going womp, womp, and him like flipping shit. Literally, the guy was like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm just going to film it. And I didn't think I was going to die, but I thought if I did, it would be great. Amazing footage. I'll win a Pulitzer Prize, like, on my last day on the earth. And so he's going. I have no idea how fast they're going, but the wings were making noises like that, like whipping in the air. And then he pulls up really hard. You can feel the G-forces, like the camera went, whoa. Pulls up, the engine goes, brr, 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 and he hit the landing strip, and we made it. Of course, here I am. Anyway, Dave Strickland comes running over. He's like, dude, he's yelling at the pilot, like, you got to fill up the gas tank. You could have killed him. Anyway, that's when I knew Dave Strickland loved me. So I have a picture. Hold on a second. Can you wait just a second? I'll bring you with me. I have to show you something. Yeah. Okay, so I'm back. So anyway, Dave, I went back and did another story with Dave Strickland about, I've got about 8 more minutes. I did a story with Dave Strickland, another one, because I kept going back. And after we filmed, we land and it was a gorgeous day. And he's like, okay, you ready? And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, I'm bringing you up. I'm like, what? And they do these things called tandem jumps because I wasn't a jumper. And he goes, yeah, we're going to do a tandem. So he goes, you've seen it so many times, I'm not even going to tell you what to do. So we go up, and instead of legally speaking, you're only supposed to go up to 3,000 feet to do your first jump, which is 1,000 meters, maybe not even. He went up to 13,000 feet. So 4,000 meters, would that be? 4,000+ meters. And we jump and we free fell for like 90 seconds or something. And look at, they took a picture. That's me right. That's me right there. Going over Northampton, Massachusetts. And that's Dave Strickland right there. And some dude, I'm not sure. And his wife had a camera on. They videotaped it. Pretty freaking amazing. I was like, oh, man. It was so cool. So that was the first and last time I ever went skydiving. It was flipping amazing. Anyway, yeah, I'm really going off on tangents now, I would imagine. My book recommendations always intrigues Isabel. Wonderful. I'll make sure to check them out. Let's see if I have any other books around me. Yeah, I'm almost always reading like 2 books. I always try to get a couple of books at the same time. And there's this one book that a guy gave me probably 5 years ago. And he was really this sweet guy, Tom, Tom the Orange Man. The Orange Man Tom, because he always wears orange and he drives his bike around. Really, really sweet guy. He gave me this book about Humboldt, right? Whose name is it Alexander Humboldt? Beautiful man. And he gave me this book, and I was just about to finish it when we moved to this house. And I packed the book, and I still can't find it. Every time I go looking through books, I'm looking for my book on Humboldt. It really drives me nuts. It was so inspiring. And he said, I'm giving you this book because you remind me of this guy. And I was like, dude, I am no Humboldt. That guy was one of the greatest scientists of all time. You know, the Humboldt current was named after him and everything, and just an amazing researcher and scientist. And I was really flattered. I haven't seen Tom the Orange Man since. Tom, oh Tom, where are you? Hello, Don Anderson. Hello, Robert, Rob Ferg, FRGS, my friend. Good to see you. WH33. Good to see you. I'm trying to wave to everybody over there. Mary Lou and Juan Cata. Beautiful to see you over there. Okay, guys, so here's the deal. In a few minutes, there's going to be a premiere on Thom Pollard Uncharted, if you will, my Everest Mystery 2.0. And it's cool video. It's different. It's the other stuff. It's beautiful, lovely. I'll give you a teaser. I cry in it a little bit, just a little. I do. I get really emotional when I'm outside in nature and I see something so beautiful. I can't even control my emotions sometimes. I just like it. I get overwhelmed with the beauty of nature and the communing with friends and people that I love. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, I've marched in the second largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world, and that's in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Go figure. I would have made you guess. I think the biggest is in New York City. All right, so let's see if we can wrap up anybody. Guesses. What am I drinking? Oh, actually, probably not a bad talking about St. Patrick's Day. What might be in here? Hold on. Can you see that? Yes, Detective Wobuffett. It is whiskey, just a teeny little. Chris, are we good to order the Everest Mystery Glassware with the logo? Absolutely. You, if you email Glass Graphics, they will answer it on Monday, unless they're there now. But I will have an online order form that will be a little easier next week, but you can absolutely either call them on the number at the bottom, or you can email them, and then they do everything. They ship it, the whole deal. And so I put all the glassware over in another area. I didn't think I was going to talk about it today. My favorite is this. It's called a tankard. It's like a beer mug, really solid. Like if you're at St. Patrick's Day and there's like a bar fight, you could use it as a weapon, which I've never been in a fight in my life. I tried to punch my brother when I was a little kid once, and he just started laughing, I thought that was, man, did that piss me off. He just laughed and laughed and laughed. I was like, and he's laughing. Anyway, that was the only time I ever hit somebody. You can tell I'm a real violent guy, right? So anyway, so here's the deal. Look at those people who've gotten up the courage to live the life that they were meant to live, which I would kind of doing it. I'm not 100% there, but on the way, my man. There's gratitude deep in my heart and in those people's heart, like Neil Young, or, he's doing what he was put on this planet to do, right? Everything that happens in their life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And for me personally, I've spoken about this in my podcast before, and today losing my brother to suicide. He was a soulmate of mine. You know what I mean? But I lost it, man. I was gone when that happened. But what happened in losing my brother? What happened was I started to realize things that I never would have realized had I not lost him. And so, as crazy as it sounds, I think of him. First thing I think of when I think of him is gratitude. I'm so thankful that he provided me with this experience, painful as it was, that allowed me to see the world in a way I never would have seen, well, at least that I know of, had I not gone through that pain. And so therein, you are just seeing a little bit of what my book is going to be like. It's going to be about how we learn from the bad things that happen in our lives. And, so at that, I better wrap up, because last time I went over, the premiere started. I want to give you a moment to get to the premiere. You've got about a minute. Just want to say thank you. I'm going to say so long over on Instagram. My friends, thank you. Love you dearly. And also, I am going to say goodbye to you. I will be checking messages and comments during the premiere in 1 minute. I love you all very much. Have a beautiful day, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. And thank you for being a part of Thom Pollard Uncharted. See you, my friend.